Coverage you can count on. Fox 30 Action News at 7 begins with First Alert Weather.
It's a First Alert Weather Day. What time you'll see strong storms move into our area and how long they'll last and the impact on your neighborhood.
Plus, learning from his mistakes. How one teenager says this program changed his life.
And fanning the flames. Why 9 fires burning in California are suspicious. How many people are evacuated? 23 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and traffic is here.
Fox 30 Action News this morning starts right now. And let's start with a shot outside right now. Some threatening clouds yesterday, but really not much as far as rain was concerned. But here it comes today here at 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 30. I'm Mike Barnes.
And I'm Lindsay Gardner. Yes, thanks for waking up with us here as you head out the door this morning. Make sure to take your rain jacket and your umbrella because it's going to rain here throughout much of the day. We're talking really into the evening commute as well, Ariel.
Yeah, we're going to see heavy rain and storms on and off throughout the day today. We are looking at some heavy rain right now in parts of our western viewing area. So right now I want to give you a look at your 5-sweep First Alert Doppler HD where we see again that heavy rain moving into Waycross and Lake City. You can see the majority of it again in Lake City, and this is tracking off towards the northeast. We will continue to watch it do so through the day, and because it's more of a northerly shift than an easterly shift, it's going to take a long time to move through our area and won't clear the area until late this evening, as Lindsay mentioned. We're starting to see that heavier rain stretching further east along I-10, getting closer and closer to Sanderson, putting a track on it for you right now into Kenny in the next 9 minutes, into Manspur at 7:24. Some of those areas already seeing the lighter rain. The heavy rain, though, is on its way, and that can be said for anywhere in our viewing area. Right now, we're seeing light to moderate rain on western parts of Charlton County and southern Ware County. We also have some heavier pockets of rain closer to Waycross. This area has seen some heavy rain throughout the morning, and again, we are looking at dry conditions through Duval County. That will be the case up until the next hour, but then we're tracking showers and storms moving into Duval County, which will begin to affect your roadways here in Jacksonville. It's now 7:02. Let's send it over to Derek for a check on your First Alert traffic.
All right, right now things are pretty quiet. Thankfully, they are dry still, as Ariel said, in Duval County. Your travel times looking okay. 10 eastbound still delay free. 5 minutes from 295 into I-95. Do have one crash that's reported, a hit-and-run crash, FHP said, on Beach Boulevard at Southside Boulevard. Working to get some more details on that. Travel times on both roadways still looking pretty good, so no major delays yet. We'll get a little bit more information on that. Beach Boulevard looking good all the way up the south side from the beaches. No major delays there. And coming off the Dames Point Bridge, delay-free 6 minutes from the end of the bridge down to Beach. Let's take a live look outside now at traffic cam and I-10 and Lenox. You see the buildup just a little bit, but no major backups. That's the very latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Lens?
7:03 in breaking news coming out of Los Angeles this morning. We have learned in the last half hour that an oil pipe burst, spilling 50,000 gallons of oil into the streets in Glendale. That's a suburb of L.A. We have new pictures coming in from KNBC this morning. These are our first images of the scene. Now, fire officials say the 20-inch pipe broke around 12:15 Pacific time. The oil line has been shut off, but again, 50,000 gallons are on the streets this morning, and there are reports that the oil is already knee-deep in some spots. Businesses are impacted. So far, no injuries are reported. Mike?
7:03 right now. 3 Jacksonville high school gangs are being blamed for a recent string of shootings. 33 people shot in just 1 month. That's according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office trying to stop the violence. Action News' Russell Colburn joins us live from police headquarters downtown. And Russell, that officer there with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office told us that some children involved in these gangs may be as young as 11 years old.
None of the parents we spoke to realize this is centered around such young members of our community and that it's such a big problem in our schools. 33 shootings in a matter of weeks in Jacksonville, and few answers for neighbors living in fear. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is fighting back with increased police presence. Our cameras even captured undercover officers raiding a home in Durkeeville, near one of those shootings at the beginning of this month. Now an officer with JSO's gang unit tells us this crime spree is largely caused by 3 different gangs of kids in a shooting war.
Quite frightening, frightening.
Eunice Barnum heard JSO say the same thing to other parents at Rains High School Wednesday. Everyone was shown tattoos from the different gangs as things to watch for. JSO described the kids as some of the most violent they've ever seen.
Do you realize that there was such a big gang problem in these schools up here?
I had no idea.
School board member Constance Hall says she was breathless hearing teens from Rains, Ribault, and Lee high schools are involved in the recent string of violent crimes, an eye-opener for what needs to happen next.
Really beef up our action in order to support schools more.
Parents just hope it's enough.
Scary. I did not realize that the gang problem was as severe.
Detectives are encouraging parents to go through their children's notebooks and see what they may be drawing. JSO says violent pictures could mean gang activity. We're live downtown this morning. Russell Colburn, Fox 30 Action News.
Only Action News is talking to a Jacksonville teenager accused of taking part in a massive brawl on Christmas Day. Our Jesse McDonough joins us live from the River City Marketplace. And Jesse, that teenager is trying to prove that he's changed for the better and also trying to help others as well.
Yeah, Lindsay, hundreds of teens were involved in a Christmas Day melee in this parking lot, and only a couple of them left in handcuffs. 18-year-old Jaquade Miller was one of them. He's facing charges for assaulting an officer. At his arraignment in December, he was released under the promise of completing the Save Our Sons program. He now calls that program his saving grace.
I just encourage all young people to cut all the violence out. It's not worth losing your life because you're basically losing your life.
The state attorney's office will review the transcripts from Miller's first appearance and decide if he'll go to trial. As of now, his trial is set to begin June 2nd. Reporting live from the north side this morning, Jesse McDonough, Fox 30 Action News.
7:06 in news this morning, we have learned the identity of a 35-year-old man killed overnight in Clay County. Investigators say Joshua Harris was walking down Blue Jay Drive when he was hit by an 18-year-old woman in an SUV. Troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol say Harris was wearing dark clothing when he was hit, and according to FHP and the report, the charges are pending in this case.
Action News time is 7:07 and new this morning. Central Florida doctors are confident a deadly disease that's reached Florida is contained. Now, this comes following speculation other hospital workers may have been infected by a Saudi Arabian man who brought the virus to Orlando. On Wednesday, doctors said all workers tested so far do not have MERS. They added there is no broad threat to the general public. Only 2 cases of MERS have been confirmed in the U.S. The second is in Indiana.
7:07, Jacksonville police searching for the shooters who left an innocent driver in the hospital. Investigators say the man was caught in crossfire near 9th and Lambert Streets on the east side Wednesday night. He drove himself to the hospital and was treated for injuries to his back and his hand. Neighbors we spoke with say they're worried because 2 people were shot in the same spot back in March. Police say that shooting happened when 2 groups of men tried to settle an argument. This is just blocks away from John Love Elementary School. We asked investigators if there was gang activity in the area, and they tell us they're certainly not aware of any.
New this morning, the White House is assigning a top advisor to help review the Veterans Affairs Department. It faces major fallout over an alleged secret waiting list and treatment delays resulting in the deaths of more than a dozen veterans. The Veterans Affairs Secretary will testify before a Senate committee today. We've been following this story for months after 2 veterans died right here at home. We updated you last month when 3 different Florida VA hospitals refused to let inspectors look at their records. Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott have both blasted the VA for the delays in care.
Jacksonville family is blaming the death of a man killed by a car while trying to catch his dog on drag racing. It happened at a residential area on the west side Tuesday night. Joseph Wilbanks was killed when police say he tried to catch his family pet. The family says he was an animal lover who worked 2 jobs to provide for his girlfriend and her daughter. That girlfriend says the driver was racing with another car on the road.
The leash snapped and the dog went running across the road, and he went to go get the dog. The neighbors were drag racing down the road and hit him.
We asked police if they are investigating the possibility of drag racing, and a spokesperson tells us that is not confirmed.
Now, your weather and traffic on the ones.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a first alert weather day. We're tracking heavy rain and also thunderstorms across the viewing area. We do have scattered showers and thunderstorms through southeast Georgia, but more isolated activity than what we're seeing through parts of inland northeast Florida. All of this is moving off towards the northeast. This is heavy rain with embedded thunderstorms. Lake City has seen this heavy rain since 4:30 this morning. Now it's starting to stretch closer towards Sanderson along I-10. And to put a track on this for you, moving moving north-northeast again into Miller at 713, into Manspur at 717, Guilford 723, Sanderson 726, and Margaretta at 736. Now, these are areas that are already seeing light rain, but the heavier rain is moving in. We're starting to see some lighter rain on the west side of Jacksonville. This is moving also north-northeast, so we'll put a track on it into St. John's Park at 717 and into the downtown area at 728. I'll continue to track this for you hour by hour for the rest of the day as temperatures climb into the low 80s. But for now, it's 7:10. Let's send it over to Derek for a check on that first alert traffic.
All right, all dry right now, but as Ariel said, the rain is coming, so be prepared for it. 295 US 17 starting to build up there, especially southbound, so we're giving that a yellow light, 40 miles per hour as you make your way toward the Buckman Bridge. Crash, a hit-and-run crash on Beach westbound right at south side. A tractor-trailer hit another smaller truck pulling a trailer, and it kept going. The tractor-trailer kept going. The other driver, though, no major injuries, so that is the good news right there. Traffic seems to be moving through that area okay. And 61 miles per hour over the Hart Bridge going into downtown, so that ride is still delay-free. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Lens?
It's 7:11, and the state of California is under a state of emergency this morning after 9 wildfires forced thousands from their homes. And crews are admitting this many fires at once is suspicious.
Right now, the nation's largest military base, Camp Pendleton, is under evacuation orders. More than 9,000 acres are scorched so far in Southern California. Our Dawn Lopez reports the outbreak as firefighters pooling their resources to try and get control.
That's right, Mike and Linz. California has seen its fair share of massive fires in the past, but crews say that these are different because they sprung up so quickly and spread, and they're hitting months before the traditional height of wildfire season. Well, this morning, record heat, strong winds, and low humidity aren't helping. Several more wildfires sprang up in Southern California Wednesday within hours. With the fire burning so close to houses, it's no surprise officials issued some 23,000 evacuation notices in Carlsbad alone.
The wind doesn't make it any easier. I mean, the wind can change, and all of a sudden, it just seems like we're going to be safe, and we're not. So we just packed everything, and we're out of there. It's been very stressful. There's a lot of big plumes of smoke, and they're getting larger.
In Oceanside, flames devoured the brush on this mountainside, coming very close to homes below. Firefighters are doing what they can to keep the flames at bay, but at least 20 structures in San Diego County have been destroyed. Smoke rising from the fire in San Marcos could be seen 4 miles away. You can see thick plumes darkening the horizon. What's caused these fires hasn't been determined, but some skeptical investigators worry about so many fires starting in such a short amount of time and ahead of fire season.
I'm sure it could all be by chance, but I'll leave it up to the investigators. I just think there's too much of a coincidence here.
While this rash of fires came early in the season, the weather has only contributed to their spread. Conditions were already very dry in Southern California. Many areas have experienced drought-like conditions, and the temperature in San Diego hit 93 Wednesday with steady winds to fan the fire. Right now, crews aren't able to focus much time finding the cause of the fires. They're just trying to get the flames under control, as you can see there, and get families back into their homes. We'll continue to watch this situation for you. Linz?
New this morning, the captain of the South Korean ferry that sunk 1 month ago tomorrow is facing murder charges now. So are 3 other crew members. All 4 could be executed if convicted. The 11 other surviving crew members are facing charges of abandoning ship. Nearly 300 people, mostly high schoolers, were killed. 23 others are still unaccounted for this morning.
Right now, rescue crews desperately trying to find more than 100 people who are still missing from a major mine explosion in Turkey. They're currently working to pump clean air actually into the mine that exploded on Tuesday in the hopes of keeping any survivors alive. The death toll now stands at 282 people in what is being called the worst coal mining accident in the country's history.
7:14, and police say a 2-year murder mystery near Fort Bragg could be solved. Wednesday, investigators recovered remains they believe belonged to a female soldier from Florida. Investigators found the remains on the side of an interstate there. They do believe it's the body of 24-year-old Private First Class Kelly Bordeaux from Osceola County. She was last seen leaving a bar with a man in North Carolina in April of 2012. That man, 27-year-old Nicholas Holbert, is a registered sex offender. He is now under arrest, charged with killing her.
Authorities are beefing up their search for the wife of an 88-year-old Georgia man who was found decapitated earlier this month. Putnam County sheriffs are called in to help from neighboring sheriff's offices and the FBI. Authorities say they have few clues that have turned up in the murder and the decapitation of Russell Dermond and the suspected kidnapping of his wife, Shirley. She's been missing for nearly 2 weeks, and authorities fear they're running out of time to find her alive. Here's a picture of her. Detectives are also offering a $20,000 reward for any information.
Convicted killer Joran Vandersloot is about to get married and become a father. The 26-year-old is serving a 28-year sentence in Peru for murdering a woman back in 2010. Vandersloot's lawyer says he met his fiancée while she was visiting another relative in prison. Unlike American inmates in Peru, inmates can have visitors in their cells. Vandersloot's fiancée is also 5 months pregnant. He has long been considered the main suspect in the disappearance of Alabama teenager Natalie Holloway in Aruba back in 2005.
7:15 right now. Former Top 40 radio host Casey Kasem has been found safe in Washington State. This just hours after his daughter filed a missing persons report. Officials are not exactly saying where he was discovered, but they do say the former DJ is gravely ill. A judge ordered an investigation on Monday after his wife moved him from Los Angeles without his children's consent.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says a presidential primary race in 2016 would be difficult if he and his friend, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, both decide to run.
And he's been a wonderful friend to me, especially during Sandy and the aftermath, and gave me some extraordinary advice. So it would be stressful. You like to run against people that you don't like. Not run against people that you do like and respect.
Meanwhile, another GOP frontrunner and Florida politician, Senator Marco Rubio, is comparing his experience with the former governors.
I certainly would line up my resume against his at this stage in his career, having served in state government. It's not a full-time job, but I did serve in state government, Speaker of the House, Majority Leader, Majority Whip there.
Some political experts are viewing Senator Rubio's comments as an early attempt to stand out. Bush says he will make his decision on if he will run by the end of this year. So far, there is no timeline yet coming from Senator Rubio.
7:17, we've got new information on what may have led to the stabbing death of a Marion County man and his dog. On Wednesday, Daniel Trent told reporters he stabbed Mark Durham in self-defense during an argument over a last can of beer on Sunday. The 38-year-old says Durham cut him with a knife first. Deputies found Durham and the dog in the apartment Monday. Both were dead from apparent stab wounds. Trent now is in a Marion County jail with no bond.
The ninja robbers striking upscale homes in Central Florida could be unmasked. This week, a tip led Orange County investigators to track 3 suspects. They watched them in full costume cut a hole in a fence around a home once owned by NSYNC pop star Joey Fatone. They were armed with guns, masks, zip ties, even duct tape. All 3 were arrested, and now investigators think the home invaders could be the same ninja attackers caught on camera tying up 2 men inside their Windermere home earlier this month.
Well, they rush into burning buildings when everyone else is rushing out, but something besides the flames is endangering local firefighters. A silent killer that could take years to strike.
I truly believe everyone would risk their life to save a life of another person. There's no doubt in my mind we do it every day. The problem is that nobody signed up to risk their life for a burned out structure.
You got to see this. The alarming number of deaths in Jacksonville and around the state, and what is being done to protect our firefighters. Action News investigates today at 5 on CBS 47. Action News.
Now, your first alert forecast, Jacksonville's most accurate.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a first alert weather day. We gave you the first alert on heavy rain and thunderstorms days ago, and it has finally arrived. We're looking at the heaviest of the rain through inland northeast Florida. So let's take a closer look at that, where you can see the yellows and the oranges and the reds. That's indicating the heavy rain through Lake City and along I-10 towards Sanderson. We have the lighter rain stretching all the way towards Baldwin, and this is continuing to track north-northeast, so into Man's Spur in the next minute or so. Sanderson at 7:25, Margaretta at 7:31, Glen St. Mary 7:37, and McClinney at 7:41. Again, some of those areas already seeing the light rain, but heavier rain is on the way for you. We have scattered light to moderate rain showers across parts of southeastern Georgia. At this time, seeing a little bit of a quieter forecast for you right now, but it will pick up as we get into the afternoon. And we do now have 1 shower. This is just light to somewhat moderate rain on the west side of Duval County, making its way across 295 and entering the downtown area. So here's a track on that into West Jacksonville at 717 and continuing to push north-northeast as we head through the rest of the morning. Now, this is your hour-by-hour forecast starting off here at 8:30 this morning. Again, starting to see just the light rain moving into Jacksonville and Duval County. Otherwise, the heaviest rain is off towards the western part of our viewing area. This continues to track north-northeast into 11 o'clock, where we see rain through Jacksonville, through Nassau and Duval counties. This will pick up into just after lunchtime, where we see, again, scattered showers and thunderstorms. We will see heavy rain at times, as well as frequent lightning and even hail possible in those thunderstorms. This continues into 5 o'clock. Unfortunately, a second band of heavy rain will push right through Duval County, right in the middle of your evening commute. So expect it to be a messy one as that moves through. Then that front pushes off the coast by 8 to 9 o'clock, and we start to see things quieting down quite a bit. By 10:30, we're looking at just scattered light rain showers, mostly cloudy skies, and by midnight, we'll actually start to see things clearing out. By Friday morning, starting off with partly cloudy skies and much cooler temperatures. Here's a look at what you need to know for today. Periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms on and off throughout the day. Everyone will see the rain. Rainfall totals will range between 1/2 and 1.5 inches of rain, with isolated locations getting closer to 2 inches by the time all is said and done. Because of that heavy rain, we're expecting we also have an aerial flood watch in effect through 6 this evening. That means areas that tend to flood when there's heavy rain, you are likely going to see isolated spots with that flooding. So be aware of that if you do live in those low-lying areas closer to rivers that have a tendency to flood. Temperatures right now are starting off in the low to mid-70s. We'll heat up to the low 80s this afternoon, but it's going to be a slow process. We'll get to 80 degrees by lunchtime. Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Expect periods of heavy rain on and off, so grab the umbrella before you leave today. We'll start off cool and cloudy at 59 degrees on Friday, but sunny through the afternoon at 80 degrees. The weekend will see low humidity, temperatures starting off in the 50s for each day, and then warming up to the low and mid-80s. You can log on to actionnewsjax.com for more information on this First Alert weather day. It is 7:21. Let's send it over to Derek.
And looking at our building ride in Mandarin 295, just north of Old St. Augustine Road. That is southbound traffic, and it is definitely starting to build. There's your travel time, 11 minutes. Normally that's about 8 minutes, so it's getting slower as you make your way southbound over the Buckman Bridge. Crash Beach westbound at Southside Boulevard. FHP on the scene right now. They're saying lanes are open. A tractor trailer hit another smaller truck pulling the trailer, and the tractor trailer kept going. The other driver was not injured. That is the good news, and those lanes are open on Beach itself. Delay-free still all the way up to Southside from First Street. Atlantic from First up to the Expressway, only 16 minutes, so good ride there. And on the Dames Point Bridge, 68 miles per hour northbound as you make your way out of Arlington toward the north side, so a pretty smooth ride in that part of town. That's your update from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Mike?
All right, still ahead, going once, going twice, where you can choose from more than 30 vehicles being auctioned off in Jacksonville by the police today.
Plus, high school gang violence, the young age of some gang members in Jacksonville who police say are responsible for the majority of 33 shootings in just 1 month.
But first, Crying Wolf, the Mayday call that cost the Coast Guard precious time and money. And as we head to break, a live picture of the 9/11 Museum, which is set to be dedicated, the, I guess you could say, official opening. The President and First Lady will be there. We'll have a live picture for you.
So how's that new chicken apple